Welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution. Today we're going to take a quick tour of my most recent 5-star Jurassic Difficulty Park playthrough, and that's going to be on Nublar North. We still have Mount Cebu in the background. And first, let's just take a look at the two new skins we get, the Jungle Albertosaurus and the Rainforest Ouranosaurus. So I've got two of the Albertosaurs in here, and I'll just scroll over. You can see this is the jungle pattern. They're in here with the Proceratosaurus to try to make a Tyrannosaur-themed exhibit. And over here we have a bunch of Hadrosaurs and Iguanodonts in here, and this is where we're going to find the Rainforest Ouranosaurus. We'll find this is the basic pattern. Here they are. In the Claire Sanctuary DLC, the colors don't always match up with what you would expect, although this one's a little bit closer to what I would expect from Rainforest. But the Jungle Albertosaurus is green, and Jungle so far has been like an orange-red color, so I mean, it still looks nice, just the colors don't quite match up with what I was expecting. Alright, so this island is unique in that it has two built-in main entrances, so we'll just kind of take a tour starting at the other end of the island. So you come on in right here, and we got a monorail that connects the three chunks of the island. Clothes shop, restaurant, some hotels, and a Jurassic tour ride. I had this as a Gyrosphere, but I changed it to the truck driver in between episodes. So our first enclosure here is a Stegosaur exhibit with Huangosaurus and Chunkingosaurus. Looks like that thing where it glitches when there's a dinosaur in the way is still an issue. But anyway, the ride goes into an Allosaurus and Dilophosaurus enclosure. We have one Allosaurus and the maximum amount of Dilophosaurs. Oh well, I did, but a lot of them die from old age in between episodes, so... I have all the carnivores modified so that if a storm hits, they will not try to break out. The only way that they'll break out is if a tornado takes out the walls, which would really stink if that just happened to happen when I was trying to do a tour of the park. She's asleep, and the ride continues on over into a... This was the last enclosure that I had to add to get to 5 stars. We have several Apatosaurus and 3 Ceratosaurus in here. With the 1.8 update, the sauropods no longer panic when they're around carnivores, which is really nice, otherwise they'd all be scampering around right now. I also have all of the herbivore exhibits decked out with the paleo feeders, which as you can see gives a nice bonus to the dinosaurs for their rating and lifespan. Alright, the tour then goes into our main sauropod enclosure. This one has Mamenchisaurus, Brachiosaurus, and Diplodocus in it. And there's also, hidden in here somewhere, we have a pack of Troodon. So we have several dinosaurs in this enclosure. What's nice with all these dinosaurs is they have very high population maximums. So I believe we have somewhere around 23-ish dinosaurs in this exhibit. As you can see, it did take up a lot of space for us though. I've tried to disperse the feeders and the water, but they all seem to be congregating right over here for the moment. And then that's the end of this tour. He heads right back on in. This park actually doesn't have any viewing galleries or viewing towers. It's all a safari park in the sense where there's a tour here and there's a gyrosphere on the other end of the island. So we'll make our way down here, follow the monorail, and down here is our industrial area of the park. I had a T-Rex to sell for a contract earlier, and as you can see, I have 2 hatcheries to help keep up with dinosaur production, because there came a point where a lot of my first dinosaurs died off and it was just easier to have 2 hatcheries, and I have a couple of dinosaurs on standby in case a couple other ones die out. Several Dilophosaurus ready to go also. We've got our greenhouse, 2 power stations, I think, a small and a medium power station. And here's our ACU and ranger stations. If I could do it over again, I would probably consider having 1 ranger station in each area of the island, just because the drive from here to here isn't that bad, but the drive from here all the way up here takes a while, and I've had some issues with disease spreading very quickly before the rangers could get there for this park. Alright, so now we're going to head down to the last area of the island, and we'll just head on over to the hotels first, or the entrance anyway. So we got arcade, clothes shop, restaurant, 3 hotels. In the back of the hotels we do have some ankylosaur and pachycephalosaur exhibits. So in here we've got Crichtonsaurus, Ankylosaurus, and Nodosaurus, which these are all pretty well visible from the hotels. And over here we have Euoplocephalus and Dracorex together. Euoplocephalus actually has a pretty high population, so Dracorex is actually the limiting factor. We can only fit 12 dinosaurs in here. Looks like we're 1 short right now, but that's probably just because I haven't gotten the chance to replace all of them yet. Alright, so let's hop over to the Gyrosphere, which is right over here. So like we saw earlier, this exhibit has Oranosaurus, Parasaurolophus, Maiasaura, and Iguanodon in it. I believe we have close to 20 dinosaurs in here. I think we have exactly 20. We got 2 paleo feeders, 1 on this corner, and 1 over here. Alright, the enclosure loops around, or the ride anyway, and then we're going to enter into the Ceratopsid paddock, which has Triceratops, Pentaceratops, and Styracosaurus in it. I did randomize dig sites for this playthrough, so I got Pentaceratops before a lot of the other ceratopsids, so I went with Pentaceratops for this park. They have a really picky population and social bar, so I can only have 9 ceratopsids in here. And their paleofeeders over in this corner. Let's get that dinosaur moved real quick. Alright, their social is still okay. Oh, another one just died. Alright, and then we'll head on over into the Tyrannosaur paddock with Proceratosaurus and Albertosaurus. It actually was only in here very briefly, and then it heads into the largest carnivore in the park, and that is Spinosaurus, along with Herrerasaurus. The two seem to live pretty peacefully together. I think it helps that the Spinosaurs stick to the fish feeder, and Herrerasaurus has its own little feeder over here. These two Spinosaurs pick fights with each other just about every chance they get. And we have 5 Herrerasaurus in here as well. Alright, so as you can see, the tour kind of loops around this new tree that we can place in the game. And then it goes back into the Albertosaurus and Proceratosaurus enclosure. Oh, good timing. We'll get to see these two square off with each other. Albertosaurus spends a lot of time sniffing the ground, it seems. It's like its favorite animation to pick from. Alright, then we head back into the Hadrosaur paddock very briefly. And that concludes that tour. So what's nice is you can kind of click on this and see I have the maximum number of gyrospheres active, which is 10, and they can currently see 34 dinosaurs visible. So this has honestly been a pretty nice way for me to build the park rather than having viewing galleries everywhere. I can just have the gyrosphere go in 7 different enclosures. The only part of the park that's not connected by the gyrospheres are these 2 exhibits in the back, but the hotels can take care of the visibility there. And that is about it for this enclosure. Just in case it... let's see, I believe it, it took me about the time, it took me about 13 and a half hours, so I was above par time, but you do get the skins, whether or not you complete it on par time. You do not need to, let's see, is this guy just hungry? Yeah. Whenever that happens, I tend to just make this dispense a little bit more frequently. We'll do a dispense now. But anyway, yeah, you as long as you complete it on Jurassic difficulty, you get both of the skins. You do not need to complete it under par time to get the skins, although it would be nice if I could do these a little faster. But that is it. We'll take a quick look at our rating is a little below 5 stars because of that welfare penalty. But you need 12,000 dinosaur rating to get to 5 stars on this island. But what's nice is, I mean, I have plenty of space left over. I could fit another 2 exhibits here if I needed. And I mean, I could fit some more enclosures here if I needed as well. And there's a couple of dead dinosaurs. I don't even have the exhibits maxed out right now, so... Alright, that's going to conclude this tour of Isla Nublar North, Jurassic difficulty 5 stars. Next up is Sanctuary, which I am very much looking forward to, especially since I'll get to use the sand terrain tool on that one. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.